Hockey isn't for the faint of heart. From bone-crushing hits to lightning-fast sprints down the ice, the NHL demands peak physical condition from its athletes. Most players hit their prime in their mid to late 20s, with careers typically winding down as they approach their mid-30s. The grinding 82-game seasons, the playoff battles, and the constant physical toll gradually erode even the most gifted players' abilities. Yet, throughout NHL history, a select few legends have seemingly discovered the fountain of youth. These rare specimens didn't just hang on past their expiration dates. They continued to excel, competing against opponents sometimes 2 decades their junior. While Father Time remains undefeated, these 7 extraordinary players managed to hold him at bay longer than anyone thought possible. Join us as we count down the most impressive age-defying performers in NHL history, men who rewrote the rules about how long a hockey career could last and what veteran could accomplish on the ice. From fourth-line grinders who survived through sheer determination to superstars who maintained elite production well into their 40s, these players proved that sometimes experience, wisdom, and refined technique can overcome the natural decline of age. When discussing NHL players who seem to discover the secret to athletic longevity, Chelios stands as a remarkable example, making his debut with the Montreal Canadiens in 1984. Few could have predicted that his career would span nearly 3 decades. Chelios finally hung up his skates at the age of 48 after playing 1,651 regular season games, the most ever by a defenseman and the 5th most in NHL history. What makes his career even more impressive wasn't just its length, but his effectiveness deep into his 40s. Chelios wasn't merely collecting paychecks during his later years. He was contributing at a high level. At age 40, he averaged over 25 minutes of ice time per game. Known for his disciplined training regimen and near-obsessive attention to physical conditioning, Chelios transformed his style as he aged, evolving from an offensive threat to a shutdown defender. He won his 3rd and final Norris Trophy as the league's best defenseman at age 35, then proceeded to play for another 13 years. Perhaps most telling was his performance during the Detroit Red Wings' 2008 Stanley Cup run when, at 46, he became the oldest player to win hockey's ultimate prize. Throughout his final seasons, younger teammates marveled at his stamina and dedication, often noting that Chelios was the first to arrive at practice and the last to leave. His career defied conventional wisdom about aging athletes and demonstrated how adaptability, commitment, and natural durability could extend an NHL career to seemingly impossible lengths. Few hockey players have embodied consistency and quiet excellence quite like Teemu Selanne. The Finnish Flash wasn't just remarkable for his longevity. He redefined what players could accomplish in the later stages of their careers. Playing until age 43, Selanne's career spanned 21 seasons, with his final game coming 25 years after his NHL debut. What separates Selanne from other aging stars was his continued offensive production. While many veterans see their scoring touch diminish dramatically, Selanne recorded 80 points at age 40 during the 2010-11 season with the Anaheim Ducks. Even more impressively, at age 42, he still managed nearly a point-per-game pace in the lockout-shortened 2012-13 season. His skating stride remained fluid and powerful, belying his birth certificate. Selanne's career almost ended prematurely due to knee issues in the early 2000s, but reconstructive surgery gave him new life. This second act of his career proved even more impressive than his early years. The smiling Finn credited his success to carefully managed ice time, a fanatical commitment to recovery protocols, and a genuine love for the game that kept him motivated through grueling summer training sessions. When he finally retired in 2014 with 684 goals, 11th all-time, and 1,457 points, Selanne had long since proven that with proper care and passion, elite scoring ability needn't fade with age. When the conversation turns to goaltenders who defied age expectations, Dominik Hasek's name inevitably rises to the top. The Dominator didn't even become an NHL starter until age 28, yet he played until 43, revolutionizing the position along the way. His unorthodox, seemingly improvisational style, flopping, rolling, and contorting his body to make saves no coach would ever teach, somehow became more effective as he aged. Hasek's greatest achievement may have been winning back-to-back Hart trophies as league MVP in 1997 and 1998, the first goaltender to accomplish this feat since the 1960s. But what truly sets him apart in the longevity discussion was his performance at the 2006 Winter Olympics. At 41, Hasek Hasek backstopped the Czech Republic to a bronze medal, posting a stellar .925 save percentage against the world's best players. That same year, he recorded a 2.09 goals against average with the Ottawa Senators, proving his excellence had not diminished with age. After a brief retirement, Hasek returned to help the Detroit Red Wings win the 2008 Stanley Cup, becoming the oldest goaltender to be the starter on a championship team at age 43. Throughout his final seasons, Hasek maintained the flexibility and reflexes of goalies have his age through a notoriously rigorous and unconventional training routine that included dancing and specialized core exercises. His career demonstrated that for certain athletes with exceptional physical gifts and dedication, conventional aging timelines simply don't apply. Jaromir Jagr's career stands as perhaps the most remarkable testament to longevity in modern hockey history. The Czech legend played his final NHL game at age 45, capping a professional career that spanned an astonishing 30 seasons across multiple leagues. While many veterans cling to roster spots with diminishing returns, Jagr remained a legitimate offensive threat well into his 40s. What makes Jagr's late career performance truly exceptional was his 66-point season with the Florida Panthers in 2015-16 at age 44. During that campaign, he led his team in scoring and helped guide the Panthers to a division title. His famous midnight training sessions became the stuff of legend, with younger teammates often unable to keep pace with his notorious workout regimen that emphasized building leg strength and conditioning. Jagr's career was a study in adaptation. As his explosive speed diminished, he leveraged his 6 feet 3 inches frame and unparalleled puck protection skills to create offense. His work along the boards and cycle game actually improved with age, as his hockey intelligence and positioning compensated for any physical decline. When he finally departed the NHL after the 2017-18 season, Jagr ranked second all-time in points, 1,921, third in goals, 766, and fifth in assists, 1,155. Even after leaving North America, he continued playing professionally in his native Czech Republic, further cementing his legacy as hockey's ageless wonder. Mark Messier's NHL career exemplifies how rare leadership qualities and physical conditioning can extend a player's effectiveness long after most have retired. The 6-time Stanley Cup champion played until age 43, amassing 1,887 points over 25 seasons, second only to Wayne Gretzky at the time of his retirement. What distinguished Messier's late career was not just his ability to remain in the league, but to maintain his commanding presence on the ice. Even in his final seasons with the New York Rangers, Messier's infamous intensity never waned. At 40, he recorded 67 points, exceptional production for a player 2 decades older than many of his opponents. Messier's physical conditioning became legendary across the league. He pioneered specialized training methods, focusing on core strength and flexibility that allowed his body to withstand the NHL's punishing schedule long after most of his contemporaries had retired. Perhaps most impressively, Messier remained a force in the locker room until his final game. While many aging stars see their influence diminish with reduced ice time, teammates continue to regard Messier with reverence well into his 40s. His career demonstrated that leadership qualities, when combined with discipline, physical maintenance, and hockey intelligence, could keep a player relevant at the sport's highest level far longer than conventional wisdom suggested. When he finally retired in 2004, after 1,756 games, second all-time, Messier had redefined what veteran leadership could look like in professional hockey. Gordie Howe's legendary durability earned him the nickname Mr. Hockey for good reason. His career spans a scarcely believable 26 seasons in the NHL, plus additional years in the WA. What truly separates Howe from every other player in hockey history was his ability to remain among the league's elite well into his 40s. In the 1968-69 season, at age 40, Howe scored 44 goals and tallied 103 points, a remarkable achievement in an era when 100-point seasons were rare. Howe's physical style makes his longevity even more astonishing. Unlike some veterans who shifted to finesse roles, Howe continued to play a power game throughout his career. He intimidated opponents with bone-crushing checks and remained willing to drop the gloves when necessary, creating the Gordie Howe hat trick, a goal, an assist, and a fight in one game. This combination of skill and physicality continued even as his hair grayed and the age gap between him and rookies widened to over 2 decades. Perhaps the most incredible chapter of Howe's career came after his initial retirement. At age 45, he returned to professional hockey in the WHA to play alongside his sons Mark and Marty, something no other professional athlete has accomplished at such an advanced age. When the WHA merged with the NHL in 1979, Howe played a final season with the Hartford Whalers at age 51, appearing in all 80 games and scoring 41 points. His final NHL game came an unprecedented 33 years after his debut, demonstrating a level of physical resilience that no hockey player has matched before or since. Johnny Bower stands alone atop the list of NHL age-defyers, with a career story that reads like hockey fiction. The legendary goaltender didn't even become a full-time NHL starter until age 34, then proceeded to play at an elite level well into his mid-40s. Bower officially retired at 45, though many hockey historians believe he was actually several years older, having allegedly reduced his age to enlist in the Canadian Army during World War II. What makes Bower's late career success truly remarkable was the era in which he played, competing without a mask for much of his career and facing blistering slap shots with minimal padding. Bower anchored the Toronto Maple Leafs during their 1960s dynasty. He won the Vezina Trophy, then awarded to the goalie with the lowest goals against average at ages 36 and 40, and backstopped Toronto to 4 Stanley Cup championships, including their last title in 1967 when Bower was officially 42 years old. Bower's legendary pain tolerance and reflexes seemed to improve with age, defying conventional athletic decline. His signature poke check, where he would lunge forward to knock the puck away from attacking players, required the flexibility and timing of a much younger man. Throughout his 40s, Bower maintained a training regimen focused on reflexes and hand-eye coordination, often working with tennis balls to keep his catching hand sharp. When he finally retired in 1970, Bower had not only redefined goaltending but established a standard for longevity that few athletes in any sport have approached. His career remains the gold standard for athletic excellence at an advanced age, proving that in rare cases, experience and technique can more than compensate for the physical advantages of youth. What common threads connect these remarkable age-defying NHL legends? Each developed specialized training methods that evolved as they aged. From Chelios' legendary bike sessions and saunas to Jagr's midnight workouts, these players recognized that conventional practices wouldn't suffice for unconventional careers. They all modified their playing styles, leaning increasingly on positioning, anticipation, and hockey intelligence to compensate for any decline in raw speed or strength. Perhaps most importantly, all 7 maintained an undiminished passion for the game that fueled their commitment through thousands of grueling practice sessions when most of their peers had long since moved to the broadcast booth. Their success also challenges conventional wisdom about hockey careers. While forwards typically decline earliest due to position speed demands, Selanne and Jagr proved that scoring touch and puck protection skills can remain elite well into one's 40s. Goaltenders like Hasek and Bower demonstrated that the position's reliance on reflexes, reading plays, and technique actually allows for extended careers when paired with proper physical maintenance. Defensemen like Chelios showed that the position's emphasis on positioning and experience can sometimes outweigh the importance of foot speed. These 7 players represent more than just statistical anomalies. They embody the potential that exists when extraordinary talent meets uncompromising dedication. In a sport that physically breaks down even the most gifted athletes, they somehow found ways to continue competing at the highest level when their birth certificate suggested it should be impossible. Their careers remind us that while time remains undefeated, a select few can keep the clock at bay through sheer force of will, extending their greatness far beyond expected limits and leaving an indelible mark on hockey history.